I should be live right now. Let's go. Let's see if my screen could show up. There we go. Here we are. Let's go. Let's see if. Dude, I am super fucked up today. I just got a new subscriber, like, probably today. Let's,
Deixa eu editar.
Concurso de Lolis KKK. What in the fuck is this? This looks fucking hilarious. They have one more sub than me. It's fucking great. What? Sem.
O microfone, transformar ele em binaural, fazer um SMR aqui também.
Vai lá.
Isso.
Finalmente ligou.
Incrível, não é mesmo?
What the fuck is that? That's fucking hilarious. Retardados. Let's fucking go. Well, that's fucking funny. Either way, today we're seeing Ben Shapiro's math equation. I looked at this earlier while I was just like so fucked up. I was just laughing at it the whole fucking time. I don't even know what his equation is. Let me try to make sense of this.
I don't even know what to make of this.
I mean, dude, they were just being such assholes, just being like, dude, you made a math equation.
Ben Shapiro.
Like, I don't know, let's see what it is. Either way.
Oh, yeah. You know, you got to feel for a guy like this where he's
Dude, I actually really like Ben Shapiro. I agree with a lot of his views. Of course, like his views on trans rights, for example, gay marriage, I definitely disagree with him on that. And I don't think that should be a litmus test for the Republican Party. I think that's just stupid. Capitalism and God are sort of the basis for the Republican Party. Some people are atheists, you can be Republican, but like, capitalism, that's mostly, at least either if you're a capitalist or if you fucking associate with a lot of the views that are right-wing, but like, yeah, just saying, if you support gay rights, like, yeah, other than that, I tend to agree with most of the stuff I've seen from Ben Shapiro. Like, I should watch
this whole thing with Candace Owen. And, you know, Kanye went from like a great spokesperson for...
I don't know why on earth anyone would try to put on Ben Shapiro's back the fact that Candace Owens said a bunch of stupid shit. Like, he kept denouncing it, like, throughout the whole time. So, like, these left-wing people, they kept fucking, like, mocking Ben Shapiro for that, like, but guilty by association, no. Like, if there's a communist, for example, who, like, you happen to work with, and they start putting out some communist ideas or something, it's like, I mean, dude, you have nothing to do with that. Like, what the fuck?
For the people of America. Oh, he's horribly anti-Semitic. Oh, what's going on here? And then he watches the Republican Party semi-implode because they're, I mean, the thing is, you know,
the Republican Party in general is really not anti-Semitic. Like, Kanye, the fucking mentally deranged person, like, fucking... They're not bringing some fucking person who agrees with his views, who's not mentally retarded, who's also sort of not too fucking big. Kanye legit made his entire career there, pretty much. Like, I remember Nick Fuentes before Kanye, because, like, I watched the Humanist Report make fun of him, and I watched him debate Ask Yourself. That's actually how I found out about him. I saw, dude, holy shit, let me, that's so funny, my new sub, I think it was something like that. That was fucking hilarious. Like, that's how I actually found out about Nick Fuentes. He was debating people like Ask Yourself, who has 21,000 subs. It's like, that's nothing close to, fucking Kanye's level talking to the president and all. It's like, yeah,
It is the
he might have had one of the extreme, really fringe minority type congresswomen at one of his speeches. Now that person's fucking denounced him, fucking obviously, but
case that these 20 got concessions out of Kevin McCarthy. But it remains to be seen what this is going to do for the party's ability to maintain the House going.
yeah, this is sort of boring, and we'll probably watch it later on in the stream. It's like, no one's even really watching this. Let's just watch this video again.
Cox Mobile.
That's sort
Only
of
pay
funny.
for the data you need. Find a plan fit for you at only $15 per gig.
Instant online offers. That's car selling reimagined. CarMax.
Yeah, like, I wonder if the reason Nick Fuentes isn't on YouTube is because, like, platforms like YouTube literally wouldn't accept the type of racist stuff that he says. And YouTube, honestly, if you compare it to, say, the Hypixel forums and stuff, like, I mean, that's a horrible comparison, but I don't know, sometimes they tend to be pretty lenient with what you can do.
Some people have asked
as long as you're, like, not too
me
big.
to produce a response to this video of Nick Fuentes talking about eating meat.
And yeah, it's fucking hilarious that this guy will go on and say that he's not racist.
For those of you who don't know Nick, he's like a right-wing commenter. Okay, let's check out what he has to say.
Black Swan says AOC is out here telling us to stop eating burgers. They want us to all be demasculated herbivores in a pen. When I hear people tell us not to eat meat, I want to ask, what's wrong, libtard? You gonna cry? Piss your pants, maybe? Maybe shit. Yeah, I agree.
Buddy.
I agree. It's true. That's a thing. I mean, this isn't even a meme or anything, but look, if you don't eat meat, you become gay. It's just true.
What?
Powerful logic.
Science.
Right there. Oh God, I might become gay. It would be totally problematic.
I mean, to be fair, I would fucking hate becoming gay. That'd suck. Like, imagine if you had a girlfriend, for example. Like, I mean, yeah, I disagree that becoming gay wouldn't be problematic necessarily, but Nick's take here is fucking epic. If you become vegan, you just go gay. You go just like go woke, go broke, go vegan, go gay. Hell yeah.
To be gay.
You have to eat meat to be healthy. You have to be, particularly
You have to eat meat to be healthy. What's the argument for that?
for men, for
I
women
fucking
also,
love
you
this
have
guy.
to
Like, he
eat
just
meat.
speaks out of his ass. He's sort of like Joe Rogan, but not like as repulsive.
Be a healthy person.
Like, he's just more funny. Joe Rogan isn't funny.
Anybody will tell you this, even the most hardcore vegans, even vegetarians.
You think the most hardcore vegans will tell you that you have to
fucking
eat
dude.
meat to be healthy?
That's
I mean,
fucking hilarious.
I don't know how he got that
I
in his
fucking
head.
love
Is he
this
actually
guy.
that confused, or is he just bullshitting? No. No, it's not the case that even the most hardcore
He might
vegans will
just
tell
be
you
bullshitting.
they have to eat meat to be healthy. I think that most hardcore vegans will tell you the
I mean, isn't
opposite,
that his
which
entire
is that
show?
you can be perfectly healthy eating a vegan diet.
Blacks.
You have to eat meat. You know, we've been eating meat and
You have to eat it.
Wait. I don't know, I got really drunk yesterday. I didn't feel anything from the, like, tripping thing. Like, I didn't feel any of that, which was weird, but, I still have a bit of alcohol left, so who knows, I might take some shots. Let me see.
It again. What's the argument? And
By the way, yesterday in my stream, I got a fuck ton of views. Yeah, let me actually see, Yeah, now it just has 9 views, and I definitely had over 1,000 live views at some point.
We've been eating it forever.
I don't know why YouTube does that, just drops your views.
Well, is that somehow supposed to lead to the idea that it's okay to eat it today? It's ethically justified because we've been doing it for a long time? I mean, like, there's tons of things we have been doing for a long time. There's a point where you could have said slavery, something we've done forever, right? We could say that rape is something we've done forever. I think that the fact that something has been done for a long time is not a particularly good reason to keep doing it or to think that it's ethical.
You know, you look at some of the things that led to our brain development.
This is just like Carnist meme central here. Okay, so first of all, you need
to be honest,
show that meat did lead to our brain development, but I don't even really care if that claim is true or not, right? People argue about that. They're like, oh, it was cooking foods that led to our brain development. It was
I mean,
I
agree with this
There was a point where I think it was ethical to go to war with Germany. This is my favorite example when people make this point. Do I think that, you know, therefore it's ethical now to just go like this?
To feed our large brains. You know, our brains, compared to other animals and also mammals, consume a crazy amount of energy, more than any other animal by far, as a proportion of...
I just have no idea if that's even true or not, but I don't know why he'd think that we have to eat animal fats to fuel our brain.
Yeah, no.
Are you unaware of all the people who are fueling their brain on a vegan diet?
Fucking hilarious.
You know, our body consumes. And so to have that, you have to have animal fats, you have to have meat in your diet.
What's the argument for that? It's just an assertion.
So, yeah, we're not going to be eating the crickets and the vegetables. That's all a meme, okay? If you think you're going to get by on Soylent shakes and crickets and all that, it's not going to happen. You're going to become one of these emaciated, fat, you know, gay physiognomy looking.
Emaciated and fat? I mean, that's just incoherent. How can you be emaciated and fat? I mean, that's just an oxymoron. I saw an emaciated fat guy the other day.
Bug people from BuzzFeed or the American Enterprise Institute. And that's not the future that we want for our kids. That's not the future we want. Forget the kids even for a moment. That's not the future.
Yeah, the future we want for our kids is not where they, you know, eat the vegan diet and live healthily and the global animal holocaust ends. Yeah, I mean, they'd be emaciated and fat. What are we don't want that.
What I want for myself, right?
If you eat a vegan diet, you create a contradiction. You make dialetheism true.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Look, if we're gonna live in a country that's what, a 15% black, 20% Mexican, 20% Asian, and what would that be, 45% white? At the very least, when I'm getting shot in the stomach and raped and sticking AIDS needles in my neck, at the very least I want to have a...
Just sticking AIDS needles.
Fucking hilarious.
Like, what? Is that
that
Mexicans?
The fucking drug,
something Mexicans
drug
do? Like,
program.
What's that supposed to mean?
A decent
That's
hamburger.
hilarious.
You know, it's going to get really bad. At the very least...
The Mexicans are going to get me with their AIDS needles, so
The
I'm going to
AIDS
need a
needles.
hamburger. Love it.
Even if they're speaking Spanish, okay, across...
How does he visualize the world?
That's
like,
fucking hilarious.
speaking AIDS needles.
I fucking love this guy.
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I love this guy way more than Joe fucking Rogan. Joe Rogan also just bullshits, just fucking says random shit like he's an old fucking dude, just average fucking redneck retard who just doesn't have an opinion, just status quo fucking opinion type shit. Where like he just pretends that he knows everything, and he's just so fucking like, yeah, this know-it-all thing, and he'll just only invite people who agree with him. And when he actually ends up having someone on who completely debunks him, like he just blames it on this other person who he actually fucking got who like he actually got some expert who was biased in favor of him, and when a bigger expert debunked that all these claims that he had been making, he just pretended, oh wow, yeah, this guy's been debunked, I haven't been debunked at all. And then he just went on to keep fucking making those claims, even though he had admitted and agreed that he had been debunked, like, all these claims he had been making about, like, oh yeah, you just can't fucking live on a vegan diet, it's impossible. Yeah, the Games Changer documentary person, he had a whole podcast with him. Joe Rogan admitted that he was wrong, except he just blamed the other person who he was using as a pawn instead of himself, and yeah, then he just fucking went on the carnivore diet and started talking about how like that's just so superior to a vegan diet, even though he had just been debunked. So the guy's way more of a fucking loser than Nick. I think Nick is fucking hilarious. He's definitely not a status quo guy, as you could see. I think he's just fucking funny. Like, he's a funny meme.
Across the counter. All right, even if all this terrible stuff is going on, I want to...
Oh, is he talking about needle sharing programs? Like,
Let me see if I have any fucking viewers. No, I didn't think so.
I don't think that's what they're called. That sounds kind of funny.
By the way, let me add in my live stream stuff, like, yeah, I probably have it already. Yeah, I probably already have that. Yeah. Okay. Wait, let me also. Okay, now I'll come. Okay, so it automatically saved to start that way. That's pretty good.
There's those programs where for people who are taking drugs, they give away like free needles, and the idea is like this is good because it reduces like transmission of
AIDS and
you know,
yeah.
I don't know, is it like pathogens or diseases or viruses or whatever by needle sharing? It's like that's gonna happen less if people just have access to needles. I mean, look, unless you think that you can show that's consequentially negative, I don't know, like, what exactly your argument against that is.
Do you love getting high, but smoking hurts your lungs?
I fucking love how
I've got you covered.
the fucking Minecraft heart too. That's hilarious. That looks like beef jerky. Dude, I love how YouTube all of a sudden started like getting ads for shrooms. As I don't know, they also started getting ads for these new Biden things. I don't know if they're bullshitting or if you can actually claim such and such.
You need to try these Delta 9
I don't know if YouTube is going more Democrat. At least none of these things were bad. I agree with all of that. Yeah, legalize all drugs. Good. My body, my choice. I'm pro-choice, and with drugs, I'm also pro-choice.
From Mood. I always get my products from Mood because they carry the highest quality
watermelons,
lab-tested products in the industry. And these smell and taste so good. I actually have to be careful not to eat too many before the high creeps up on me. I know what you're thinking. Is that legal? Yes, they're 100% legal in all 50 states.
I think I just pressed a button that might have done some bad.
Is like you just have some kind of deontological problem. Like I'm under the impression that well-being goes up when you implement those kind of policies.
So, oh yeah, no shit. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I love how Ask Yourself genuinely trying to take him seriously when he's just a meme. It's like, that's hilarious. Ask Yourself will take some people who are really not serious very seriously, but then like some other people who will just get super mad at them, like get very frustrated. Like, Ask Yourself's temper really depends on who he's talking to. Like, he can make very good arguments, but like, I don't know, there are some people who will absolutely like cut him off, talk over him, all that stuff, and he will be very fucking kind to them, he'll be very polite. Then like, I don't know, the Ask Yourself versus Milk Jar debate, Milk Jar, I mean, obviously that guy's fucking... Yeah, he's a clown as well, but like, Yeah, ask yourself just kept interrupting him anytime that he would speak. And then when the guy would just finish what he was saying, like, ask yourself would just fucking yell at him.
Why would we think that? Why would we think that?
Like, yell, stop interrupting me, bitch!
Well-being would go
like,
down
aye,
if
buddy.
we provide needles to people instead of them, sharing their needles and giving each other diseases. Like, I just don't get it. Is there a consequential argument there, or does Nick just have some kind of like non-consequentially based problem with like needle distribution? I don't know.
No, he's just trying to make the argument that, oh, they're drug addicts and all, and they're these dirty fucking filthy drug addicts.
And I want to be left alone when I do that. I don't want any crickets in there. I don't want any. Did you taste a little something crunchy in your burger? It's actually mealworms. We don't want any of that.
That's not crunchy.
Don't eat any of that. Try to eat as much meat as possible while you can. They will try to tell you.
Eat as much meat as possible.
People don't believe me. People don't believe
That's
me.
hilarious.
They've been trying to tell us for years that we have to cut meat out of our diet. And the reason they say that is because...
Who's they?
Yeah.
The Jews?
There's going to be 10 billion people in the world, and newsflash, they're all going to be black, basically. They might as well be. Probably 5 billion of them are going to be black.
Oh god, not black.
Not the black people. Not the... Yeah, I'm trying to not say that. Either way, do I have a water bottle somewhere? Actually, I sort of do. Okay, let me take my next shot. They're all gonna be black.
Black people? Oh no.
Africans. And the reason they want us to stop eating meat is because...
So that we can give the meat to the black people.
You're not going to be able to feed all these people meat. In order to raise...
This is just the worst take on veganism I've ever heard.
That's fucking hilarious.
There's going to be tons of black people, and we can't feed them all meat.
These cattle, the right way, not in a lab. Right now with the gay lab coat guy making meat in a test tube. If you want to raise real meat...
I realize we're going to be able to make that cheaper. It's going to be more sanitary. We're not going to have, as much fat in the meat, although maybe you think you have to eat the fat to fuel your brain.
That's hilarious.
And there's also not going to be the animal holocaust if we switch over to producing lab meat. So
that's always great.
What's the case against lab meat? That the guy who makes the lab meat is gay? Code.
Takes a lot.
Nothing worse than gay people or black people or Mexicans.
I love how he's really taking him seriously, to the letter.
A lot of vegetables, a lot of transportation costs, a lot of land to raise the food for the meat, and then the livestock. You have to have land for them to graze and everything.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
There is simply not enough resources on the planet for everybody, for 10 billion people to eat a diet like we eat, because we...
Is he about to try to debunk that?
We eat good. Us Europeans, we eatin' good, all right? We eat vegetables, we eat meat, we eat what we want, when we want it, we eat oranges, okay, we eat fruit, tropical, every time of the year, we can get anything. And it should be that way. We deserve that. We deserve that. We did that, okay? We industrialized the world. We are Christian. We are God's chosen people.
Yeah, so basically, if you're American, you deserve more because your ancestors created society.
So,
what?
What's the... So, white people just deserve to eat an unsustainable
I think he meant Americans,
because they
probably white
Western
Americans,
society or something.
We deserve to have high standards of living like that. Eating crickets, that's for the jungle people. That's for the people in Borneo. Okay, that is for the global south. You will not catch me eating porridge, okay, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner like these peasants in the global south. We deserve to live like this. Before... It used to be that the wealthy 1% was everyone in the West. Now they want it to be like a few people in the cities. No. We will continue eating meat. We will continue eating vegetables. If the global people want to eat, they could let them eat rice, let them eat
His
the
face.
crickets, let them eat the mealworms, let them eat the dung for all we care. Let them eat the dirt. Let them eat dirt cookies like in Haiti. But they will try to convince you that you
So, oh my god, this is
fucking
the worst
hilarious.
take I've ever heard on on veganism. So
I
white
fucking love
people
this shit.
deserve to eat the meat, and the jungle people should eat the mud pies and crickets. Seems legit.
have to give up your
That's
diet because
amazing.
I would love to debate this guy. Nick, if you want to have a debate on the ethics of veganism, please just
It's
contact me.
fucking
I think we would have
amazing.
an absolutely
Yeah,
hilarious
Nick
discussion.
absolutely. They did have a debate. Nick just slimed out.
I'd love to see this case for why like white people should get to eat the meat and the jungle people should eat the mud pies.
we're not going to be able to feed everybody and all
Fucking
this other stuff.
hilarious.
Look, Mexicans want to come here, whatever. They want to push that shit in Africa. Let them. But we are going to eat McDonald's. That's the one good thing about the market, I think, is that
That's
the
the
market will
best
not
food,
stop supplying
McDonald's.
us with meat as long as people are willing to pay for it. So we can't give it up. Do not give in to the bug cult. And you see it all the
The
time.
bug
People don't
cult.
believe me. I get emails from people like, oh, Nick, you don't know what
Bugs are meat,
you're
by the
talking
way.
about. There's
Crickets
enough
are
land
meat.
for everything. People like don't understand how land management works.
This is so funny. Like, he sounds almost like a vegan when, like, kind of the way that a vegan would respond to someone who tries to say, oh no, there's enough, land for the whole earth to eat a diet filled with meat. So, like, when he responds, it's like you think that he's going to explain why that's like not the case and then be like, so we should be vegan. But his conclusion is, no, that's not the case. Of course everyone can't eat a diet like that. White people can.
They're like, there's enough land. We could feed everyone everything forever.
He's like, yeah, that's completely impossible. So let's just feed the meat to the white people and the jungle people can eat the mud pies. Great
That's
conclusion there.
fucking-
We'll never run out of land. Overpopulation is a myth. Wrong. There's not enough land to feed everybody. There's not enough land for that, So,
Imagine unironically agreeing with that instead of saying maybe we should change our diet, just saying so white people should eat it. I love it. This is just hilarious.
and look,
That's
they
fucking
say as
awesome.
much. That's why they're pushing it.
Okay, anyway, yeah, let me see. Yeah, my live stream is still 0 people. That fucking sucks. Yeah, I have 26 fucking subs. Like, that's fucking amazing. Oh yeah. Let's look at this video too.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. They always accuse you of the very things they're doing themselves. If there's one rule you can keep on your fridge, write it down, put it in your wallet to evaluate the behavior of the people in charge, it's that. They blame you for their sins.
Alright. I'm not really sure. That might be taken out of context a little bit. Dude, let me go get a water bottle. That's actually full. Actually, you know what? Let me fill up this fucking water bottle. Oh, fucking yeah, dude. Oh, well. Dude, I sort of forgot what the fuck I was doing. Fuck, dude, it took me a while to get that fucking bottle filled up. Hell fucking yeah, dude.
Every single time. The latest example arrived this week when we learned that Joe Biden, fresh from lecturing us about how Donald Trump is a criminal because he had unauthorized possession of secret documents, that very same Joe Biden himself had unauthorized possession of secret documents. But don't worry, it's not a big deal. Unlike you and that despicably orange Donald Trump, Joe Biden is a good person. Joe Biden is so virtuous he has transcended temporal law. It's not a crime when he does it. So that's the frustratingly familiar headline from this.
I don't know anything about this like classified document thing that Joe Biden did. I don't know what that case is and what Mar-a-Lago's case was. I know that he's like I already saw this video. I know he's gonna compare to that. I honestly don't know. I can't really give my opinion. I have no idea.
But the details of the story are actually pretty interesting.
But yeah, apparently it seems that both are cases of mishandling information. So, I mean, to be fair, there is one major difference. Like, Trump was no longer president, and Joe Biden is president. But, like, I don't know. The thing with Hillary's emails, again, I don't really know the details. But, I mean, there are some comparisons there, like,
So
I definitely get
last
it.
midterm elections, Joe Biden's lawyers were for some reason rooting around in a locked closet in the Washington office of something called the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement. And while in that locked closet, Biden's lawyers found a sheaf of highly classified government documents. So the first question here is, why were Joe Biden's lawyers doing this in the first place? And we can't say for sure because they haven't told us, but it is weird. Lawyers don't typically search locked closets. Yours probably don't. But Biden's lawyers did. And we'd guess they did because they understood that Republicans were about to win back the House, and with it, congressional subpoena power. So they were likely conducting a cleanup operation preemptively, trying to get ahead of a scandal they knew was coming. And of course, they hid what they found in that closet until after the midterm elections because there's no reason to influence voters too much with information. So there's that. And then there's the question of the so-called Penn Biden Center at the University of Pennsylvania. What is that exactly? The whole idea of an academic Biden Center is pretty funny. Joe Biden is a moron. He's always been a moron, even before the dementia. For decades in Washington, ask anyone who lived there, Biden was famous as the dumbest member of the Senate. People made jokes about it. So
I don't hate Joe Biden. I don't dislike him. I definitely think he should like be more fucking efficient, do more things. I think these days, honestly, is like look at inflation. It's gone down. He's passing a bunch of stuff, but like, yeah, I definitely think he should push more on
why would
issues.
an Ivy League university name a think tank?
And of course, like he's a Democrat, so I don't agree with like everything but like I don't think he's that bad. I mean, he's definitely not a bad person. That's
You can't
for sure.
think and then pay him nearly $1 million a year for not doing anything. Good question. We'll have more on that in just a minute. But first, a word about classified documents. Now, this is not a partisan point, not attacking anybody. It's just the truth. These people you see on television huffing and puffing about vital state secrets, on both sides, by the way, not just Democrats, everybody, vital state secrets, they're either lying or they don't really understand how Washington works. How many legitimate vital state secrets are there?
Now that is a point of view, and I don't know. For all I know, there could be a ton of things such as, yeah, if you provide this, people could be compromised. Like student people could be in danger. There could be a lot of secret operations that we can like we don't know.
Well, actually,
but yeah, that JFK thing, if that's genuinely true, yeah, I agree. Like, who cares? Just release the documents.
actually not very many at all. In a democracy, the government has no right to hide what it's doing from the public, except under extraordinary circumstances. It's fine to classify.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Normandy invasion until it happens.
Statement.
It is not fine to spend 60 years hiding the fact that the CIA was involved in the murder of a president. Hiding your involvement in the Kennedy assassination is not even...
I don't know. Like, is that really true? Like, I doubt. I doubt that this whole conspiracy theory thing is true. Like, the US government tried to kill Kennedy. Fucking why? Like, what? That, I don't know, that sounds insane. And then, like, what would it have been for civil rights? Like, he was, I, like, I remember he was in a, like, pretty racist state at the time, and, yeah, like, it just made sense. Now, Lyndon Johnson, after that, he actually went on and carried out, Lyndon Johnson apparently carried out JFK's legacy for a big part, and apparently that was unexpected. I learned that in school, because he was Democrat, and Democrats back then apparently were really racist. So he was apparently expected to not do anything for civil rights, but apparently he carried out JFK's legacy. I think, like, that's what I remember being taught in school. So it would make sense. Race, if the government was super racist or something, maybe they would have wanted to take out JFK. But then Lyndon Johnson apparently continued the job for him. So why wouldn't they take him out? Like, were they just too afraid that time that like it wouldn't work twice? Like, what? I don't know. What's the deal with that?
National security.
Except if he's not saying it's because he was against racism. That, like, why? I mean, to be fair, the documents are classified that he's referring to, so he wouldn't know why they tried to assassinate him. But I don't know. That sounds very sus. Like, the government assassinated Kennedy. Sort of sus.
It is criminal behavior, and it's made possible by a classification regime that was designed not to protect this country, but to protect and enrich our permanent political class, which it very efficiently does. Oh, but our enemies, screeched the morons on TV. If we declassify these documents, whatever they are.
Yeah, apparently they printed a lot of fucking money, and that caused inflation. I don't know. It also makes sense, because every country had inflation. Now, apparently Mexico, some people, Tucker Carlson was making the argument that people were going to Mexico because inflation was too high in the United States. So clearly, this is country specific as well, but every country more or less was suffering from inflation. But yeah, I guess if they did print a lot of fake money, as Tucker Carlson says, to enrich themselves, and that's what caused inflation, yeah, I think Danny's right.
If we do that, our enemies will learn our secrets. Please. China already knows our secrets, all of our secrets. The Chinese government has hacked every agency in Washington, and everybody knows that, and nobody seems to care.
Yeah.
The Biden administration cares so little, in fact, it just suspends.
I mean, who knows? That would be a good point. I don't know if it's true, but it would make intuitive sense, to be honest.
Here, Navy SEALs, 3 rules for surviving a real-world assault. Rule number 1, always fight dirty. If you're assaulted by a criminal, you stand no chance of surviving if you're acting like it's a martial arts tournament. In the real world, the devastating moves that are illegal in the martial arts are...
He had a mask. That was literally the best fucking protection he could have had against
your best chance to survive.
Attack.
My martial arts mentor proved this point to me by throwing dirt in my face when I was least expecting it. And that's why I surprised my friend here. So you can see how unexpected, dirty moves
I'm sure you surprised
like this can end the fight before it begins.
He's like still pretending
that's
to
exactly
fucking have a seizure or whatever.
Espionage program designed to stop Chinese spying. In other
But
words, the
was sort of
Chinese
funny.
can know, but you can't know. Biden trusts Beijing more than he trusts you.
Okay.
So the media's job, its only job, really, is to push back against attitudes like that and to seek the truth. Reporters are the people who are paid, who for a living find out what your government is doing and then tell you about it. So
I don't know, like, there could always be reasons that you'd only find out once they declassify that material. And until you find out what it is, you can't really know.
Democracy can continue. But there are very few of those left. Julian Assange is in prison for his efforts. Ed Snowden lives in exile. And the news organizations that remain are so thoroughly controlled by government agencies that even the suggestion of more public transparency drives them to hysteria. Watch CNN and MSNBC, for example, react to the news that Republicans in Congress might tell us some of what the thoroughly corrupt intel community has been doing in our name.
a House committee where Republicans can shred at the integrity of the federal government and tell America that your government is spying on you and coming after you, that is at the heart of this tear down, break down the government. We can't trust the government. We're going to topple it. He just gave them a committee platform to have those hearings. And you better believe that is going to be heroin in the veins of Fox News viewers over the next 2 years.
Basically, they're establishing a subcommittee or a committee on witch hunts and...
Dude, this guy's face looks so flat. Like, I don't know, it looks sort of like Putin's face, to be honest. Jesus Christ, so still 0 views. Fuck, let's go on to Ben Shapiro's video. Seriously.
I don't even know what to make of this. It's Ben Shapiro. You know, you got to feel for a guy like this where he's he went through this whole thing with Candace Owen.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, Kanye went from like a great spokesperson for the people of America. Oh, he's horribly anti.
That has nothing to do with Ben Shapiro. Like, the right just completely embraced him. And honestly, when you heard him, like, talking on Tucker Carlson, it's like, it sounded like, no, he wasn't actually this mental retard that we'd all heard about. Yeah, then when he started spewing his, like, explicitly Nazi fucking stuff. Like, who could have seen that coming? Honestly, like, from Kanye, we didn't know. Like, how could he have known? Here?
And then he watches the Republican Party semi-implode because they're, I mean, the thing is, you know, it is the case that these 20 got concessions out of Kevin McCarthy.
Kanye is a fucking meme. I wonder, has he been found? Is he dead? Is he still missing?
It remains to be seen what this is going to do for the party's ability to maintain the House going forward and actually gain.
That's fucking hilarious. Ben Shapiro's new math equation proves he's a dumbass. That's fucking hilarious. I have never made music. Okay, that's funny, I guess. What? Okay, either way. Yeah, let me see, actually, oh, fuck, we still gotta watch that, too. Let me see. What the fuck was I just gonna look up? Yeah. If he had been killed, like, if he had died, I would have known about it. It would be all over the place.
We got the house!
Who cares?
2,000 miles away.
So I've been completely all over this whole Kanye West situation, right? Many people are worried about him. No one knows where he is. He's allegedly missing, this and that. Well, this new video right here is titled Kanye West has been located. It's getting a little bit of traction. Check it out.
Right now, I don't know if you've been following the Kanye news. Kanye's been missing for a month. His managers can't get in contact with him. Has something happened to Kanye? Nobody knows where Kanye is. My wife sits back down. She's like, "You see who was over at the table?" I didn't see it. And I went back over and I looked, and it was just Kanye. He's at the Amangiri, bro. He's just over there chilling, dude.
Are you for real?
Everybody else is signing NDAs. I'm not signing shit, dude. Kanye's at the Amangiri. Jesus. The biggest smile I'd ever seen on his face. Hanging out, sitting at a table with another couple.
So I believe he said he was at Amangiri. I don't know. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I kind of looked into it a little bit. I believe it's like a 9 or 10 hour drive from LA. So yeah, he's claiming Kanye was there, happier than can be, like smiling, straight cheesing. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Obviously, who knows if it's true, right? Like, he didn't show any kind of proof. So Orlando Brown lately has been doing a lot of interviews and they have been going viral. Well, in this newer one here, I guess he's kind of exposing Kanye West.
You guys actually realize.
I mean, to be fair, what videos they left for him to be exposed for? That's fucking hilarious.
Like how there's a taller Kanye, a smaller Kanye, a taller Kanye. They're fighting for who's gonna be Kanye. They're fighting for who's gonna be Kanye, dude, right in front of you. And it's like, yo, bro, leave my brother alone.
Okay.
So it's like a nutty professor type of situation. That's stupid, bro. You see Kanye 6 feet tall and then you see him small. You better catch the small hugs, man.
I don't know how tall he is. He definitely, like, I could tell nobody would find him attractive. Like, there was no way. I'm not gay, but I mean, you could sort of tell which people, like, I know that he definitely, if he gets pussy, it's probably just because he's rich. Like, I feel bad for saying it, but it's true.
He was just trying to eat that day. he finally got it back. And
What is he being exposed for
that's what
exactly?
the real Kanye be in a real place, chilling, eating, no security. That's Kanye.
In other words, Orlando Brown here is basically claiming.
So he doesn't like having police, like, I don't know, fucking trying to arrest him or whatever, or being around. Like, that's what he's being exposed for? What is he being
that
exposed
there's a tall Kanye and a short Kanye because he is, you know, basically. It's just when you really think about everything Kanye West has been through the past few months, it's literally fucking crazy. From like Kim Kardashian to the Pete Davidson post to Kid Cudi to
What
the
happened to
Biebers
Kim
to being
Kardashian?
dropped by Adidas to being
Yeah, I
canceled
just
all over
learned apparently that's his wife.
social media where he's suspended. I don't think I've ever seen an A-list celebrity go through as much as I've seen Kanye go through. Anyways, as usual, man, I'm hoping the best for Ye.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious, that whole thing. Dude, my Tourette's is gonna
Defending
die.
freedom.
So,
We
let's look
worked.
at that. So I would actually completely agree with Tucker Carlson on this. If only, what's it called? Yeah, if only he
We
wasn't,
marked.
like, transphobic and stuff. Okay, pro-choice. Either way, yeah, like, I'm against
To
this
give-
transphobic movement, but, yeah, I
Every
definitely agree
child
with what he'll say in this
of
video.
their moment to grow into the remarkable, one-of-a-kind purpose for.
Here's Tucker Carlson on his program last
High
night.
school sex fantasy. And that it was not a creepy high school sex fantasy. He just said, like, yeah, apparently the whole class did, like, a teacher to do some weird thing with a kid. Like, the kid obviously liked it, and it's like, yeah, there are no victims. So, for some reason, he thinks, like, I don't know, with trans people, he doesn't tend to say that about, like, he tends to be referring to little kids, not 14, 15, 16-year-olds. I think in this he was talking about, like, 15, 16-year-olds. So, yeah, it's a bit different. Anyway, let's see what this is about. I haven't actually seen this.
Right? She really loves these delectable squeeze-up treats. What? Delectables. Delectable
I'm gonna have to see
So
that,
Republicans
too.
are now officially in.
Fucking hell, actually, let me see that first.
5,000 years of Chinese music and dance in one night.
So
Wait. Let me look at that.
I've been getting paid $1,000 a month, if not more, just from this app on my phone.
Okay,
And I don't know.
good for you.
welcome everybody to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends. I am here with Crystal. My name is Kyle, hence the name Crystal, Kyle, and Friends.
Yes, all of you are the friends, at least the ones of you who have subscribed on Substack.
The ones who.
So today we'll be talking to Will Menaker of Chapo Trap House, one of my favorite podcasts, if I don't say so myself. Enjoy listening to Chapo, especially on those long
I
drives
really
from
like
New York to DC.
Yeah, smart, quick, funny.
Yeah, they have great rapport, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They really do.
That's a rare thing, too. Like, it takes some special alchemy to get that kind of chemistry going.
Yeah, and they were fellow Bernie Bros during the era.
Did we guess
You know, we were sort of leading the charge. You remember when Jacobin wrote that piece about me? There was a line in there that was Andrew Tate and sort of explained basic things. Take a look.
These are his words, not my words. And I'm not going to take it out of context.
You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you.
So you're making sure that you're teaching girls how to make a shit ton of money. Right off the bat, he tells you his main goal is to have them work for him and him get all the money.
Then I realized I had about 5 girlfriends, all smoking hot, and females are an asset. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen, come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell? That was the girl that recruited for Jeffrey Epstein. Almost identical to what he's talking about here.
I had a separate phone with all my girls' guys in that phone, and I kept.
Why did he say all that?
Don't let your girl have this, because if your girl ever runs off and leaves you, you don't want her to have an address book of all the guys she can get money from.
Another aspect of control. You don't want her to have your client list because if she has your client list, she can leave you. So you've got to restrict her information. It's a systematic method of control to control these women.
You want her to leave and go, well, I don't know the account. I don't have the password to the account. I've never set it up before. I don't know how the banking works. I don't have any of my guys' phone numbers. I have nothing. And that's why they don't want to leave. Because they're like, oh, well, he has everything. I need him. I have to stay with him. He has everything. It's important. I'm telling you, it's a very important element, that control.
It's a very important element, that control.
And they will leave if you don't have every aspect under control. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. You need to tell your girl that you're paying the tax because girls are lazy and girls are stupid and girls.
This guy's such a fucking asshole. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Holy fuck. Was that like the right-wing status quo guy? Like, I don't know. I thought he was sort of like Tucker Carlson and all these people. That kid seems like a fucking degenerate. Like, that kid looks like a complete fucking dipshit.
Girls don't understand how taxes work. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we've made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. Now, that allows you to do 2 things. One, it's another control element.
See how that control is a recurring theme over and over and over again?
Buddy. Yeah, I guess.
They say 1%. So for every I do it alone, tax is also another paying the tax. Because girls, you're not going to pay anybody tax because you're why they don't want to leave. Because they're like, oh, well, he has everything I need him. Tax is also another if you don't have every aspect under control. And they will leave if you don't have every aspect under control. Tax is also another important element.
Yeah, maybe they should have fucking rights.
You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin.
Seems like such
you tell your girl that you're paying the tax because girls are lazy and girls are stupid and girls don't understand how taxes work. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we've made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. Now that allows you to do 2 things. One, it's another
recurring theme over and over and over again.
If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. The control element.
And he doesn't have respect for these women at all.
Yeah,
I know. Because they're stupid.
It allows you to pay her a small percent. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000 they made, I'd give them 3.
Who would want to be with this
guy? Keep 7. They
Like,
thought
why
they were
would
on
people with
50%.
this guy? Yeah, no one would ever love this guy when he talks about women that way.
And I said that the disparity is because of taxes. If they say, why is it 50-50? I'm the one who knows what he's doing. I'm the one with the knowledge. I'm the da-da-da-da-da-da. Shut the fuck up. Go online. Print out some tax forms. I used to do this all the time. I used to print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here and sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Throw them away out.
Yeah, no one should fucking worship this dipshit.
They think something's happening. Something real's happening. Nothing's happening besides me getting rich, bitch.
Nothing's happening except for me getting rich, bitch. That's what he just said. So he's taking another 20% of what would have been their earnings, saying he's paying taxes, but he's not paying taxes. His words. That's fraud. Force, fraud, or coercion.
Crystal, your thoughts?
I mean, what
Jesus
they are
Christ.
accusing him, Romanian authorities, of doing is using what they
Yeah,
call the
he's probably gonna do time for this. I mean, that guy seems like a complete dipshit, and why would he admit that? Why would he say that to a camera? It's not like he was caught, like someone secretly filmed him. He just said that to a camera. Was he trying to, like, pass on a message to someone else and it got leaked? Like, why would he do
Loverboy
that?
method,
So
where
dumb.
you essentially like have a girl that you know, you tell her you love her and this is your girlfriend and you take her out to fancy meals or whatever, and then ultimately you coerce her into this like cam porn operation that he is running. And he just literally describes the whole thing right there. I presume this is from his like Hustlers University thing, which is also another total like fraud and scam.
Yes, it is. There's also a clip, and Rick was showing it to us before.
Okay, I guess we don't really need to get someone else's take. We get it.
Republicans are now.
So what did they say that's so bad?
Officially in control of the House of Representatives, and there was a little bit of an open question when the negotiations were going on, when the debate was going on. Hey, what are they actually going to fight for? What are they going to vote on? You know, it was a little bit up in the air. We had a general idea, but now we know for sure. So there was a whole list of concessions that McCarthy made to Matt Gaetz and, you know, his little ragtag group. Things that you have to vote on this in order for us to, you know, to give you our vote. And those things were honestly standard Tea Party ideas. And so one of the things involved.
Let me look that up. Yeah, by the way, populism. Yeah, that doesn't seem like something that is bad. A political approach that strives to appeal to ordinary people who feel that their concerns are disregarded by. Yeah, like, why do people say populism is bad? That seems like a good thing. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Like, yeah, that's exactly the type of people that, like, as president, you should try to, like, strive to improve their lives. Like, that's a great priority to take. Let's see, yeah. What is T-pop? What? Definition? No. Oh. Okay,
Of like, you know, border security. We need to make sure we do border security stuff. Another thing was to raise any taxes, you need 3/5 majority, which frankly is insane. I mean, that's insane.
What?
Something like 70% of the American population wants to raise taxes on the wealthy, and they've now made that functionally impossible. So,
Good.
you know, populist might.
Yeah, good. You don't steal from people. No. If so many people want to commit theft, good for them. Let them fucking cope.
Ass cheeks. These are guys who have a populist posture, and who fight in a faux populist way, but their agenda is as pro-establishment as possible. Well, now they're ripping the mask off because a bunch of these Republicans went on
saying?
Fox News, went on various news outlets, and they tried to make one thing crystal clear. Hey, that one decent thing that we negotiated, you know, some defense cuts. That's the one thing we're not actually going to do that. So the one good thing that was in our list of demands, we actually don't want that. We're not going to fight for that. We're not going to do that. The real cuts we want to do, it's domestically. Well, you know what that means. So let's listen to some of their commentary here, and then I'll break it down as we go.
Domestic tax cuts. What is that about?
Now, this isn't scientific, but I did a poll
And
around...
yeah, that makes sense. Republicans would be against stealing. Yeah, they would be in favor of tax cuts. They would be in favor of cutting the amount that is stolen from people. And by the way, if you're gonna be like, oh, taxes are theft, you're a moron. No, you're arguing with the definition. I've done this countless times. If you look up what theft is, taxes literally fall under that definition. So if you disagree with that, you're just arguing a definition. But
around New York, and what people believed about the Constitution shocked me.
I think the U.S. is a crypto-fascist country. Absolutely, already, period.
I think it needs to be amended. I mean, the founding fathers did not envision certain things like guns.
I'm not a huge fan of the idea that people think they're more protected because they're carrying a gun.
The strict constitutionalists who believe that we should only look at it exactly as it was written.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem lip.
In 1776 are completely misguided philosophy.
A lot of the structure that exists was, in a way, naively constructed.
I have a copy of Defending the Constitution here by the Epic Times.
Definitely insane.
Inside your...
That looked fucking weird. It legit looked like they were just adding the fucking voiceover after.
Now, there are a number of half a dozen prominent ones, but the one that seems to be sticking across some of your more moderate colleagues is this notion that, you have a budget this year that should be the same next year. You want it to make it the same. But with population growth and inflation, as you know, Congressman, many of your moderate colleagues say, well, that would be akin to a cut in, for example, defense. And that would not be welcome, and the back and forth on that. Is that a drop-dead issue to you?
Well, the real test for us, as you know, Neil, will be when the debt ceiling situation arises. When we reach the debt limit, we've got to have the willingness to go to the mat over that, to force cuts in spending, to put us on a path to fiscal responsibility. We've got to use the leverage that we will have.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, oh, bro, when that, like, we're already in so much fucking debt. It's like, at this point, what's it even matter? Like, we've been in that, like, how does it impact my life? Literally any day. The fact that, oh, the US government is like a few trillions in debt. I don't know, like 3 trillions, maybe 10 trillion, maybe hundreds of trillions for all I know. And it's like, whose life does that fucking change? I don't know how they manage that. Like, staying in debt, but it's like, fuck it, dude. Like, whose life is that impacting?
Because, as you know, the omnibus bill was passed, unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago. We've lost all of our budgetary leverage through September, but we will regain that in the debt ceiling battle, and we have that soon. And the full faith and credit of the U.S. government is on the line for us to cut spending so we don't face a reckoning someday because of the rise in interest rates and the rapidly rise in our national debt. So we've got to show courage. That was on display here in this Congress, I would say, historically over the past week. We've got to continue to display that courage to fight to save the country from a fiscal standpoint.
So just to decode what he's saying there, and by the way, what he's saying is correct, but in the opposite way of what he thinks. So he says, oh, the full faith and credit of the U.S. government is on the line here. That's right. And if you do the thing you want to do, it'll destroy the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. So the debt limit is an arbitrary cap. And the reason why it's total bunk, good word, is because that's about money we've already spent. So the real question here is the U.S. going to be good on its word? If you destroy that and you tell the world no, well, guess what? That has massive consequences. Our rating as a country plummets. Nobody would ever want to do any kind of...
It's pretty fair. If they said they would do something, then they went
of business with us, and you immediately plunge us into a...
Unless they have an explanation as to why they changed their mind. Especially if people elected them based on them doing that.
And or depression. So... what they're talking about here, we've seen this before, guys. In fact, there was actually a great documentary. It was on, I think, PBS Frontline, and it's available on YouTube if you want to check it out. It's about the debt limit fight, the debt ceiling fight that happened under Obama. There was President Obama, there was John Boehner was, the person he was negotiating with, who was Speaker of the House at the time, and John Boehner was also dealing with these upstarts on the right flank.
I mean... Okay, 0 viewers. I might honestly end this live stream soon because not really getting any views. I'm sort of bored, so. What?
Think of him, and it was Eric Cantor and some others, and Eric Cantor and the others were taking this position that this guy's, putting out there, which is, no, we're going to demand cuts domestically. And what that means is screw over working people by, destroying or reducing the few programs they actually like. And so you have this game of chicken where you know, the Democrats control the Senate and the presidency, so effectively Biden can veto whatever the hell he wants. But what are the Republicans going to actually agree to get through the House of Representatives? Because they're going to need to get something through the House of Representatives to eventually become law. And it's like, well, what do you do? Well, in that fight that happened back then, in the 2010s, you had Obama and Biden actually agree to some cuts in Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. But what happened was the Tea Party at the time said, no, that doesn't go far enough. So we're going to destroy that. And as a direct result of that, we actually avoided the cuts to Social Security and Medicare, which is astonishing. It's because these people were so extreme, they wouldn't accept a win when they had it. And so eventually, I don't even remember how they ended up totally, averting the crisis, but they ended up raising the debt limit, and they didn't touch the Social Security and Medicare, but there were,
That's fucking hilarious. Like, yeah, they didn't accept the win. And it's like, did they have a fucking backup plan?
Other things that were on the table and other things that were potentially cut. And
like who?
Obama had to back.
Yeah, anybody who said, no, we don't want McCarthy, like, did any of these people say, here's the person I want to be Speaker of the House instead of McCarthy? Like, did they do
off
that?
of certain tax increases that he was arguing for? He had to, like, raise the threshold that you raise taxes. Anyway, so this is just one example here. We're just getting started. Let's watch this one.
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
And you can't fight the tears that ain't coming.
Imagine if I did that. I'd be considered
in the
fucking
spending
approach.
You've got the discretionary spending that involves both this out-of-control domestic spending since before the pandemic under Nancy Pelosi, and you've got defense spending. And the argument is this would affect defense spending, which I'm here to tell you guys, Republicans will not impact defense spending aside from efficiencies and waste. It's the domestic spending that we're going to go after.
Yes.
That's fucking insane. Like, the military, we absolutely don't need all that money. There's how much Pentagon money missing that the Pentagon just couldn't fucking keep track? Over $1 trillion? It's like, why do they need all that money? How's that actually helping people's lives? Like, as this other person said at some point, we should be spending more money on saving lives instead of taking lives. And yeah.
In the spending.
One admission. He says that like he's so proud of it. He says that like everybody would agree with what I'm about to say here. No, only in your little bubble in Washington, D.C. do people agree with that. Only because your best friends are defense contractors who you give smooth hand jobs to at night. They're the ones who agree with that. Look at what he's arguing for there. He's saying, we're not going to touch defense. We're not going to touch defense, we promise. Because they think, oh my God, that's a political third rail. It's not. There was a story that just came out. The Pentagon failed 5 audits in a row.
Yeah,
5 in a row. They can't account for 59% of their funds. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars missing.
Yeah, like, it's absolutely insane to keep giving them money when they're just so fucking insanely lazy with it. It's like, this is our money. They are stealing our money and they are putting it into debt. Like, absolutely not. Like, that's so fucking insulting.
We're talking about we wasted $7 trillion when all is said and done in Iraq.
Like,
Over
No, the government should absolutely have a debt to the people that have to refund all of their fucking taxpayer money that went to being wasted on this fucking garbage.
$1 trillion in Afghanistan. There were the Afghanistan papers that came out which found that all of the spending we did there was rife with waste, fraud, and abuse. It effectively, it's like lighting that money on fire would have been of better use. And these people act like, bro, Americans will not stand for defense cuts. We spend more than the next 10 biggest countries combined, and most of them are our allies. We have 900 military bases all around the world. This, like, the amount of money we spend on war is absurd. It's absurd, and it's because of the corruption, because of the defense contractors, Raytheon, Boeing, etc., that Honeywell, they give money to these politicians, and the politicians return the favor. They give them these no-bid contracts, and you got thousands of tanks sitting in the desert in Nevada just collecting dust because, warfare is our welfare in this country. And this guy says, we're not going to touch that. We're not going to touch that. Don't worry, we're not going to touch that. Well, that's the one thing we want you to touch. I want you to cut the military budget 50%, because even if you cut it 50%, we're still the biggest military in the world by far and away.
Way
by
more
far
than
and away.
50%. And that's true.
So no, he's like, oh, don't worry, we're not going to touch that. We're only going to touch domestic programs. Oh, you mean the most popular programs in the entire country? Is that what you mean? And the answer is yes. That is what he means. I got one more here for you.
Why isn't this guy
Congressman,
fucking cancelled?
should military spending cuts be on the table and put on the table by a Republican?
Well, look, I
Not
agree.
that I'm for cancel culture, by the way. Or that I'm for canceling him, but like, I'm really fucking surprised. Like, this is
With,
really fucked
Jim
up.
Jordan,
that's just theft. Republicans, they probably shouldn't be against theft. Like, stealing people's money to put it into things that are literally useless. I get Republicans are very much for the military, but that's just stupid. Why do we need that? Who's going to attack us fucking anyway?
We are going to carve out woke policies out of the military. We are going to look at the out-of-whack ratio of generals. I invite him to come on the Armed Services Committee and work with us on that. But Stu, and by the way, I'm all for a balanced budget. We've got to get spending under control, but we are not going to do it on the backs of our troops and our military, when at the same time we're talking about China is the greatest threat. We're going to have a select committee on China. They're tripling their nuclear arsenal. Iran is racing towards a new. North Korea is about to launch an ICBM. Russia is on the march. And oh, by the way,
North Korea is not going to do shit, because if they do shit, we'll nuke the fuck
we still
out
have
of
a
them.
global terrorist state now in Afghanistan, thanks to Joe
Like, they sorta
Biden.
know
So
that.
this is, I mean, we can work on prioritizing defense spending, but that's really nibbling
this
around
guy is just so fucking
margins.
insufferable.
If we really want to talk about the debt and spending, it's the entitlements program. That's 70% of our entire budget. That 1.7 trillion.
Yeah, like, I love how he says the word woke instead of liberal, just because like woke means liberal and bad. It's like, what the fuck? Like, people who fucking complain about woke, it's like, I mean, to be fair, I get it, it makes sense. Woke does sort of have a meaning in people's everyday lives, so yeah, I'm taking it back, whatever.
And
That was
defense
stupid.
within that is only 30%.
I just fucking hate when people fucking complain about woke. It's like, that's not an
So if we want to talk about big reforms, I look forward to hearing that from those folks who are pushing towards a balanced budget.
The reason why I like this idiot the most is because he dropped all the coded language. He just went right to it. He was like, no, we're not going to cut the military. We'll get rid of the woke stuff in the military. Oh, you're so brave. You're so brave. Because that's the real crisis, is that there's like a couple trans people in the military and maybe some lesbians who climbed the chain of command or whatever. Like, the idea that this is your main critique of U.S. empire is like, bro, LGBTQIA stuff and whatnot, they're destroying us. They're destroying us, bro.
Yeah, the LGBT make up such a small fucking percentage of the population. Maybe they think, like, loud minority, like, dude, fucking hell.
Like, what is this? What is this? So, not going to touch military spending. Oh, how brave of you. How brave. But what we really have to go after is entitlements. So what does that mean? That means Social Security, Medicare, and potentially
So that means the American people, he hates them. So talking about hating America, yeah, is calling America entitled or calling America racist? What's really the difference? You're sort of insulting America either way, so... Yeah, as a Republican, what's your stance on hating America? Clearly you hate America.
Medicaid as well. Definitely Social Security and Medicare. Those programs are the most popular programs in the country.
Yeah.
Those programs are beloved. Now, he calls them entitlement programs, and he says that in a derisive way. It has a negative connotation, the way he says it. It's pejorative, the way he says it. But guess what? There's a reason why they're called entitlement programs. Because you are entitled to them, because people pay into this their entire lives, and then when they retire,
like, this guy's just an entitled little bitch.
When they hit a certain age, it's like, well, you're going to get back what you put in. And the whole idea about Social Security and Medicare is that, look, this money in particular is basically going to go into a lockbox. And
I thought he was calling it that because he thinks people just are fucking spoiled and feel entitled to things that they don't
it's going to be
deserve. It's like,
safe. It's not part of the rest of the the budgetary
That's
process
insane.
that we have to re-up on a yearly basis, and so that's protected. And so
Let me
you're
see
good. You're good. Like this is for you, and that's why these programs are popular. Because if you're gonna prioritize what to do,
dude, I should just
Real
try looking
power.
at this before.
The debt ceiling is just a tool to oppress people you don't like.
Back down on your neighbor.
Dude, honestly, my fucking head hurts too much for this. Like, I'm high and shit like that. I don't want to look at that right now. So hopefully y'all have enjoyed this live stream so far, and I will go ahead and see you